It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live with Expresso. Thank you so much for tuning in. As I always say, time to get your just rewards as we tackle youth sports after a bumper sporting weekend with our Easter Rugby Festivals. Brandon Yates, our sports reporter, is here. Great week for youth sports, most notably because Varsity Rugby gets some normality back.
Absolutely. Well, there's a couple of good news stories coming on the way, starting with Varsity Rugby. As we know, in the last couple of weeks, there's been a lot of negativity surrounding Varsity Rugby. But some positive moves were made by taking Varsity Rugby to neutral stadiums. But now they finally feel safe enough to return Varsity Rugby to the Varsity Stadium. So we're going to see the fans coming back to enjoy the rugby, massive crowds, entertaining rugby. It should be great to watch. And it's finally some positive news coming back to Varsity Rugby.
And they've been playing at Cape Town Stadium right next to my flat. So I've heard the music, I've heard the entertainment value that goes on. So go out and support your varsity teams.
Absolutely.
Of course, Easter Rugby Festivals done and dusted. Who were the stand-up performers?
Well, it was a great success, and there were a couple of undefeated teams, most notably Grey High, Uffies and Paarl Boys. And going into the rest of the 2016 season, those guys are definitely the teams to watch, as always, like we always say.
And Paarl is in a rebuilding phase.
Exactly.
How did they get it right?
I have no idea how it happens. I mean, last year, most of their team was Matrix and they had an undefeated season. Now they come back, mostly youngsters, guys that haven't played first team before, and they're still crushing their opposition. So that school really does produce the players every single year.
Now, before we throw forward to some mouth-watering fixtures coming up, something that seems to be surfacing yet again and something we should be focusing on is the health within rugby. We know at a junior level that is a major focus.
Absolutely. Well, in the last week, there were some results released from a USA study with regards to youth sports. Apparently, over the last 10 years, there's been a 400% increase in sports-related concussions, just in youth sports alone, and 50% of those go unrecorded. So it's definitely something to look out for going into the youth sports season, especially with rugby and hockey. There's little Johnny there, a typical South African boy that plays.
Not a real picture, I promise you. Yeah,
that goes onto the rugby field. They are very brave, but they're not undefeatable, so they really should look out for those kind of concussions.
Where does the responsibility lie? Medical staff, on coaches, on parents?
I think most of it has to do with the coaches and the medical staff, because if you just allow a boy a chance to go back onto the field, he's going to guard there. He's not really thinking about his body. He's thinking about his school.
You would have dragged me off that field kicking and screaming.
Exactly. So I think the responsibility lies with the parents, the medical staff, and definitely the coaches as well.
I'm going to add to that, having sustained some pretty rough injuries, it's on your shoulders as well. If you're playing rugby, you need to look after yourself.
Absolutely. Please do.
What's coming up next? What do we got an eye on?
Coming up, obviously, we've got an eye on the Olympics that's just around the corner. So there's a lot of qualifying that's still happening, starting with the 2016 National Youth Track and Field Championships, and that's starting this week. And then the likes of Akani Simbine and people like that will be looking to qualify for Rio 2016. So that's something to watch this weekend. And then Fairmont Easter Hockey Tournament, that's happening. 12 girls' schools and 12 boys' schools from around the country are taking part. It's actually the biggest co-ed hockey tournament school tournament in the world. And
it's blistering. The pace that these guys play at, it's something else.
Absolutely.
Man.
So a bit of hockey to watch as well. And then starting today is the SA Boys Under-19 Golf Championships happening down in Bloemfontein. So plenty of variety to watch in youth sports this weekend.
And a plethora of youth sports to take into. Thank you so much for keeping your finger on the pulse. You can let us know who you are supporting in our youth sports action. Absolutely love being able to see so many South African performers starting their careers so young.